Alright, so I'm done with the green. Just finished painting that. It's still a little bit tacky. So I've gotten on the sides, got roughly 1/3 of each going around. It's pretty evenly distributed. Got plenty of tan there. I think I'm pretty pleased with the way it came out as far as the proportions. Again, that's the thing. If you're not pleased with it, go back and touch up and expand certain areas. Do what you need to do, make it look the way you really want it to. So, I'm pleased with this the way it is. So now it's time to worry about the turret. So I'll take the gun off for a second. I have this separated so that I can paint it without having to mask it. All right. So this is the key part for the turret. You need to look at the tank from both dimensions, okay? Actually, all three. So from the rear, sides, and front, as well as the top. See, that's the thing. Remember, you're trying to disrupt the outline of the tank from all who might be trying to see it. So preventing visibility from airstrikes, that's one of the things you want to do. Preventing from the side, the front, definitely want to do that. I kind of look at that stubby barrel. I might just have to get a demolisher. Well, anyway, so the way to do this is to grab your. It doesn't matter which paint you use this time. I'm going to start with the red or red brown, and here you're going to start scribing lines. So, looking at it from the side, I need to have this brown come up along here. And here we need these areas to be brown, and then this area between to be here to be green, so that it continues from below here. So that's what I'm going to do next. So you can actually use as you can see here, you can use the line from the paint and just draw it up there onto there. That is my brown. Now here, along the back here, I need to make sure when I kind of bring it up, looks like it's going to come at an angle. So I'm going to bring it up kind of like this. Just there. Okay, and then, and what matters is marking the lower portion, not the upper portion, because all you're going to do is use these reference marks to get you started. Okay, so I'm going to go here and here. So this is brown here. Alright, so from the front, same thing. Well, actually it's going to match up pretty well, so I'm going to just extend it that way. From the side here, all of this is supposed to be brown, so that's all brown. Okay. Back here, I've got a narrow section that's brown, so looking at it from the side, it's the rear part of the turret. On the side here, it needs to be marked. Looking at it from behind, essentially this entire left hand side needs to be brown, but remember, you need to have this area needs to match both sides. So since there's tan here, I want to carry the tan up to this face, so I'm going to extend the brown up to here, right through. Sorry, I messed up that part too. You couldn't see, but so instead of painting on the brown on the side, I'm just going to extend it from the side here up to the side of the turret rear, and then basically this whole segment back here, even with this section. So that's how it'll match. Okay, and so here there's going to be some brown because of from the side here. Now we got to look at it from above and just determine where we're going to put the different colors. So here, again, I've got the brown on the side here, so that's going to have to go here and here. So we know that this area should all be brown. Okay, we know that. Looking at here, we can actually extend some brown up into here, into this area. So I'll just mark it, just a little spot there. On the side here, we're going to have, this should be brown, and this area here should be brown. Okay, so we need to have brown area there. Now, before we go into actually painting the turret, we might as well go ahead, while it's mounted, let's take a look at the green. And we'll just go again, mark where's the green need to be. So, same thing. Might as well start on the top since that's where we left off. Essentially, this entire side is going to be green all the way to there. So we'll just do that. And then up in here, the green's going to be here. So this whole section should be green, and matter of fact, this whole section here is going to be green from the side. We already know that. So we can do something here to extend the green up. Since we're going to have, we know this is supposed to be brown up in here to match this section. We know that's supposed to be brown. We can kind of extend this up a bit. All this is going to be green back here. Again, just marking it, coloring it so I know where I'm going to be doing. Here on the face, I can see that I'm going to need to have some green up here. But it's kind of, I'm going to take a look at the front before I look at the top there. I'll show you why in a second. So there's green here, green here. So all this is going to be green on top. Okay. From the front, we didn't go very high here in green, but if you look down from above, that whole area is supposed to be green. So we can actually go ahead and start just kind of mark all that to be green. Okay. Now, on the side, to mark here, we know we have to have green here, and there's going to be some green from this point back. So we have some red up here, so we can actually connect the green and red here. Alright, so that area is going to be green. Now, looking at this, I'm going to say that this should be brown. So I'm going to make a quick adjustment there. Mark that. Okay. Yeah, so that the whole thing here can be okay. Alright. So that pretty much covers it. Now I think I'm going to go ahead and make the radio gear down here. I'll color that up to make the brown. That'll be tan, that'll be green. This will be brown. Some green there. It's good to have some tan up top. Now I know I've got brown in this corner, and this corner. Now what I'll have to do is figure out kind of how do I want that to flow across the top of the tank, or do I want to make it flow across the top of the tank? Honestly, the way I'm looking at this, I don't think I want it to cross the tank. I think what I'm simply going to do is extend the red in, or the red-brown in, to make this whole area here red. I'm going to extend this further in, and I will go into the turret ring. I just don't want to do the turret ring at this moment. Yeah, because that's all going to be red down there. And then, so how's that going to look? I'm going to need more green. So I think what's going to have to happen, I'm going to bring this green up here further. So let's do that real quick. So I'm thinking in terms of this area being green, and we'll make them kind of meet right here. So we'll figure that one out here. We'll make them meet in a little when I actually do the detail painting. And that way we've got some tan here, 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 so that it keeps that 3-color scheme going. Okay. All right. So now the turret's marked. So now I can do just like I did with the turret, with the hull. I'll go ahead and I will remove the turret and I'll paint those up. Okay, and we'll be back when I'm done with that. Okay, thanks. All right, so there it is. There's the turret. All the components, or all these sections, are made completed. So now, show the effect. Let's put it on the actual tank. And there you go. So now this is the last thing you need to do, is you need to make sure that the decisions you made still make sense. Okay, so you review it. Looks pretty good from the front, I think. Seems to be a little bit more. I think there's a little more tan than I want. What I want to do now, I can see, is I'm going to want to put some green right here. I'm going to fill that in with green. It just doesn't look right to be empty there. Alright, on this side looks pretty good. Tan's coming up, going through the turret. Green's going through the turret. Red's going through the turret. A little sliver of tan, that's perfectly fine. I like that. Looks good. In the rear, I missed the spot. So, underneath the turret here, that should have been, I completely missed that. It should have been painted brown. But other than that, I think it works out pretty well. On the side, you can see it on the back here, the curve of the tan and the green continue through the fuel tank. And so the bottom part's tan, top part's green. It looks pretty good. What doesn't look good is that side. That just doesn't look good. So I think I'm going to go back. I'm going to make this whole thing brown. So brown here, brown here. I should be in better shape. And then green under here. So that's what I'm going to do. So let me go ahead and do that, and I'll show you the difference, and then we'll be done with the demonstration, okay? I'll be right back. Okay, that was quick. Didn't take long at all. Now with the green on the front, looks a little better. And with that brown in the back, see, it's still drying. That blends in really nicely, and from the top too. So that's a big difference. Very nice. I think I'll also put some brown right there. As a matter of fact, might as well do that right now while we're talking about it. No sense in. Oops, sorry about that, guys. Let me just bring this down. Boom. All right, there we go. All right, so now the tank camouflage is done. What I would consider this kind of like this is the second coat. So from here, I'm going to probably give it a quick light matte varnish, light gloss varnish, because the next step is going to be to put a shader on, and I'll show you why. These are the same tan. This is a light tan right out of the, because it's an Army Painter skeleton bone. But this is the same one with Army Painter's soft tone, which is the shade I use on the tank. So if I use a gloss finish, it will settle more into the cracks. If I use a matte finish, it will adhere a little bit more to the side here. So I'm thinking about it. At this point, I need to let it adhere more to the side, so it'll probably be a matte finish the first time through. Do a light wash with to weather it, then I'll gloss coat it, and then we'll start doing the regular. Sorry, not the regular, but the rest of the detailing, the weathering detailing. So I've got a long way to go on this model. There's still a lot to paint, but the basic camouflage is done, and now I can move on to the next steps, do the detail painting around it and weathering. All right, I hope you got a good idea of how to go about coming up with and executing a camouflage paint scheme on a tank. Again, it's really up to your imagination, and it just go with the flow. It works out pretty well. All right, I hope you found this beneficial. Share, like, subscribe, comment below. Let me know how you feel about it, and any tips you might have. All right, thanks. Catch you later next one. Bye.